designed for a few years now. And so what it allows it to do, because instead of having the sensors fixed at a height, I have this in my logbook.
Yep. Yep. Oh, if you just want to explain it, yep.
Oh, but I have a few diagrams.
Yep. All right.
Sure. So what would happen if the sensors were at a fixed height, which I drew a diagram of somewhere in here. Hang on. Sorry. Yeah. So these would be the sensors at a fixed height, and so as it started to go up an incline, what would happen is the sensors and the back omni wheel would bottom out, and so these wheels, the drive wheels, would be off the ground. And so the best way to fix that was a hinge. And so by having the wheel in front, that means the sensors move less, whereas if they're in front, then the movement would be amplified. And also with my cam mechanism, what I've done is I use the EOPD to detect the can, and then once I pick it up with the wheels, I use the ultrasonic to detect it, which I also use to detect the water tower.
I'm just sorry, what's an EOPD?
It's an electro-optical proximity detector, and so it's like a really accurate distance detector.
All right.
And so we found that it was more consistent than using an ultrasonic because it sends the waves out like that, whereas EOPD is just straight out.
Got it.
So that way when it's searching for the can, it sees it and it's straight on, so all it needs to do is just go forward and then pick it up.
Okay.
And the ultrasonic's picking up the top of the can as you lift it, so that's giving you the height.
And also I use that for my water tower as well. Otherwise this could see the can if it's right at the side of the silver as the water tower. And so with the cam mechanism as well, so we just used some old RCX wheels which we cut, except when we first tried it, it wasn't picking up the can, it was just slipping. So I got that somewhere. Weight distribution, that's center gravity stuff. Gripping the can. So what happened was the balloons weren't on there, and so it was just the normal wheels, and so as it would spin, like the can would actually slip, you know?
Yep.
So the can would slip, and so it would end up like this high instead of like the proper height. And so we tried like all these different ways. We tried like putting hot glue around the edges to give it a bit of thickness. That didn't work. And so what we did was we got a bit of double-sided tape, put it on the outside of the wheels, just but not in the cut part, and we put a rubber band on it that we cut. And then to hold that all on, we put the balloon on top of it. And so that also gives it a lot more grip as well. And yeah, that successfully lifts the can, so yeah.
Nice work. Now tell us about how you solve gridlock.
So gridlock, I didn't bother hard coding it because I don't think it's in the spirit of the game, but so what I've done is in my green program, which I put in on my block, so I check, because I'm using color as light, I check if both of the sensors see either green or black. So, like, say this one sees green, it'll turn that way, which I've incorporated into my line color. And so then they'll both be over green or black. If it does that, it goes into this, moves forward a little bit just to make sure it is on green. And then what I do is I switch to color sensors, because I'm using color sensors. And then from there I check which one is on green. So if one sees green, it'll act accordingly, same with 3. But if they both see black, what it'll do, it'll just move forward.
Okay.
And so what happens on the gridlock is it goes in, sees the first green, turns, goes to the second green, turns, and then when it gets the double black line, it double checks that they're both seeing black, and then once it's short, it just goes forward, and then goes forward again on the blacks, and then does the other 2 greens. Makes its way up.
Okay.
So
very clever. Well, good luck.
Do you move it side to side in that check?
No, because the color sensors are accurate enough, and I move forward a little bit just to make sure. I don't need to, except I might adopt that next year if we're going to use those new tiles which we saw, such as the night one where you invert the colors. And so what I'll do is then I will check if these 2 see black, I'll move in because that one see white if yes, and then that one. And then from there, if they both see white on the inside and black on the outside, I'll invert it and act accordingly. And then...
Any changes you plan to make to